Hi everyone, welcome to week 4. This week is going to be kind of busy for us because we have our midterm exam. So please read my weekly email. I assign new chapters. I'm combining chapter 6 and chapter 7. So basically we're not covering the entire chapter 6. I'm keeping chapter 6 very, very short. We're just covering basically one or two topics like business cycle. You need to know the definition of business cycle, different phases of business cycle, and then the last part of chapter 6, which is about the sticky prices and flexible prices that are super really easy. And I ask like a very, very simple questions from that part. Our focus will be on chapter 7, which will be our very first macro topic. It's about GDP. I want you to pay attention to the definition of the GDP, different components of GDP. There are two different ways that we can calculate GDP numerically. The first approach is called expenditure approach, and the second one is called income approach. Income approach, remember, is not as straightforward as the expenditure approach, but expenditure approach is the most common way of calculating GDP in United States and many other countries. So we use actually expenditure approach more often, but definitely watch my videos that I posted on week 4 for these topics for GDP. You need to memorize the formula for GDP. As I said, you need to know the components of GDP. We're looking at a more completed version of the circular flow we had in chapter 2 when we defined these components of GDP. So if you do not remember anything about circular flow, definitely go back to chapter 2 and review the circular flow. We're adding government, we're adding other countries, we're adding banks and financial institutions to what we had in chapter 2 to create government spending, investment, consumption expenditures, export, import, and all these things. We need to know those things that are included inside GDP and those things that we do not include inside our calculation for GDP. Take a look at those factors for sure. Look at the assignments. Do not miss the deadline for our assignment this week. I didn't give you any new discussion this week because I want you guys to be focused on midterm exam. I also sent a video for you last week about how you can take the test. So even if you took micro with me in the past, and I know few of you did over summer or in spring, it is different right now because we have a new edition of Connect. So we are using all the proctoring features like lockdown browser and webcam, using webcam because you'll be recorded while we're taking the test. If you do not have a webcam, please just let me know before you take the test. The exam will be available to you from September 18th to September 21st. You can take it any day that you want, any day that you are ready, but remember that the test is timed. So make sure that you are ready for the test. You are using Chrome as your browser. Pay attention to your time because as soon as your time is up, the whole browser will be closed. If you have any question while you are taking the test, just email me, send your questions and concerns to my Lone Star email. It's on the syllabus. I also included it in my weekly email just in case to keep it handy for you. What else? You can see your grade after the deadline. It won't be available to you till after the deadline when everybody basically is done taking the test. Review the materials I put for you in week 4. Also review the lecture notes, the videos. If there's any concept that you do not know, just ask me questions. Review the assignments and you should be fine. Okay, so focus on chapter 7 this week and start reviewing all the materials that we covered last week. And remember that when you are done with the test, you start working on your papers. Okay, you really don't have that much time. This is an 8-week class, so you really don't have that much time to finish up your term papers. Okay, so good luck. Let me know if you have any question, and I'll see you next week.